This point, can you even remember the beginning of this pandemic? Do you remember? Well, our next guest certainly does, because he was writing about it weekly. As a humor columnist, that was no easy feat. I mean, really trying to find the funny parts of a pretty unfunny situation. Josh Freed is publishing a collection of his COVID columns. Josh is joining us bright and early from Montreal this morning. Good morning to you. Hi.
Good morning, Lindsay.
Yeah, because you usually go to bed at about 3 a.m., right?
I went to bed at 3 a.m., so bear with me
on this
COVID day.
Well, thank you for joining us this morning.
Yeah.
So many people use humor, as we know, as a coping mechanism, right? You've made a career out of humor as a columnist, and you're now compiling those columns into this book, Postcards from Pandemica. Were you worried at all heading into this project that people wouldn't be open to laughing about COVID, considering, you know, we're still in this thing?
Yeah, the first column or two I wrote, I was terrified I was going to get hung. You know, people were dying, and I was nervous that people would be offended. But it turned out to be the opposite. I don't think I ever got an angry letter. What I did get is thousands and thousands of letters as the year went on from people who wanted to share anxiety. You know, we were all living the same crazy anxieties, and we were quarantining our Tuesday newspaper until Friday when it was too old to read. We were holding our breath whenever we passed a jogger. We were terrified. You know, we were terrified to touch an elevator button or people we loved. And these were crazy things. And everybody wanted to hear that other people were as crazy as them, you know?
Yeah.
They were all mutually crazy. And I think there was a big anxiety bath together with humor.
Yeah, I was thinking about my mom. She had like worn away her credit card because she was putting so many, you know, the disinfectant on her hands so often. I mean, it was just one of those things when we first started this whole thing. Now, the first column is...
We were Lady... Sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Actually, we were all Lady Macbeth for a while. You know, we were all washing our hands like Lady Macbeth over and over and over.
I know.
And it was weird too, because, you know, like the world was upside down. Like affection suddenly turned into infection, and you know. If you loved your parents, you didn't go visit them, you stayed away from them. Like the whole world was upside down. You know, I grew up with cannabis as an illegal substance, and suddenly it was an essential service. Who can make this up?
That's a really good point. I mean, when you think about your first column from February 2020, you were in an airport, you were the only person who wasn't wearing a mask. What was it like for you to go back through these columns when you were putting this collection together?
Well, that's the weird thing. Each column was written in the moment as we were living a new anxiety, and every week had one. When I read them all a year later, I'd written a diary. I'd written a kind of funny, a tragic comic diary, if you want. It shocked me to look back and read where we've been. So in a way, it's, if you want to remember your COVID with a smile, not a shiver, this is a good book for you. If you want to remember it in fear, this is not your book.
Right, okay? Right. I mean, when you think back to the essay you wrote from like a full year ago, so January 9th, 2021, it's your column about having a curfew and feeling like, what, you're 9 years old again. So a little bit of deja vu with Quebec going back under a curfew now. Did you think we'd be here?
I really never thought he'd bring another curfew, and it's just overwhelming for people in Montreal. But again, we need humor. I've been saying, like, I mean, let's hope Omicron ends fast. But I hear new rumors that variants are coming, like Megatron and Parmesan, which apparently you catch from spaghetti. So look out, watch your spaghetti, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
And then there's the problem that we're running out of Greek letters also, Lindsay, you know, and if that goes on further, they say we're going to have to switch the Roman numerals and call it COVID XXXXX111.
Like every Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
All right, well, Josh Freed, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I know you haven't had a lot of sleep, so we'll let you get back to it. The book is called Postcards from Pandemica. All the best to you and your family.
Thank you.
All right.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.